Good morning. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us for another edition of the Morning Breeze, man. Always rocking with you guys, as always, man. Outside of me, I got my guy, Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, in the building. That's right. Back at it again with the white vans. Shout out to y'all if you remember that. Hey, man, we got a lot to get into. What's going on? Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, the birds of the
morning. Well, yeah, they're
tweeting today. They're tweeting today.
They're alive.
A little loud. They are alive. We have confirmation that they are alive. Pat the Designer, back at it again. We got a lot to get into on today's show. Chicago Bears being interestingly linked to a surprising first-round pass rusher. Gotta take a look at that because if there's any chance, it would probably be the only situation where I would want this guy on my team. We'll talk about that starting the morning off right. Also, we didn't get a chance to talk about this yesterday because I didn't care, and I didn't think that people cared. But Matt Eberflus is finger pointing. You're a liar.
Yeah, whatever. Cool.
We'll break down our thoughts on that. Also, taking a look at does Ben Johnson have to win right now? All that and more in today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Jordan JC is 6/17, 2025, 7:04 in the morning. And I heard the tweet. I heard it.
Yeah.
I heard it. They are alive. They are in fact alive. Also, Tyrese Halliburton, worst face of a franchise I've ever seen perform in the finals in my life.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. That was bad.
I got a stat for you. Because as the game was happening, I was literally sitting there going, I don't think I've ever seen a player do this.
Really?
I don't think I've ever
got
seen
that bad. Okay.
This.
Hey, let's do it.
I got a stat for you that is, and we're going to get that out of the way early on here because that is a wild stat, my boy. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do.
Come on. Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push the button.
You heard what she said.
Y'all heard what Sue Young said. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. And make sure that you are picking up your Breeze merch.
Ooh, I love that. Oh, yeah. Nice cup of Joe.
What do we get? Morning Breeze, baby. Yeah. You like that? Oh. Tyrese Halliburton is the first all-NBA player to miss every shot in a finals game since 1958.
It's 67 years. Okay.
There you go. There you go.
7 years. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. What a hole.
Yeah.
What
I bet you thought you were a superstar, didn't you?
67 years? Are you serious?
Yeah. That was a horrible performance.
Oh, Ducky.
That was a horrible performance. My God.
Might have been the issue, Ducky. That might have been the issue.
Ducky, you wildin', my boy. Let's start the conversation here, though, Jordan JC. I'm not here to talk about the NBA Finals because Tyrese Halliburton was horrible last night. You know what I mean? Yeah, that was
what it is.
Game, though. That was a good game, though, overall. 40 points from Jalen Williams.
Jalen might be a budding star.
Yeah.
A budding star.
Yeah, 40 points.
Like it.
A very interesting conversation sprung up. This was per Bleacher Report. That dropped this conversation. Mitch Milani, I want to make sure I put a name to it, of Bleacher Report, coming with an interesting option here for the Shemar Stewart situation, saying that Shemar Stewart has several paths forward. He can sign his rookie contract and play the rest of the season, or he can request the trade before the August 5th trade deadline for unsigned rookies. He can re-enter the draft if he sits out the entire upcoming season, or he could even play elsewhere in either the UFL or CFL. Although in that situation, Cincinnati would retain his NFL rights. The interesting part of all of this is that he has been there. He has been in the building. He's been in practice, but he has had a refusal to sign the contract because of the language that has been paid in this contract. Now, with him being pretty much the only unsigned pick, there's an issue with some of the guaranteed money. Where he's at right now, he'd make about 94 million per Spotrac's rookie wage scale estimation. And I mean, at this point, you're sitting here having a conversation about this young man basically not signing because they are incredibly dumb over in Cincinnati. Just look at the way that they have handled the Trey Hendrickson situation. Now, I'm not saying that this is a likely scenario, but Shemar Stewart has dug himself in, saying, I am 100% right on this. I'm not asking for nothing y'all have never done before. But in y'all's case, y'all just want to win arguments instead of winning more games. If this continues to get ugly, Jordan JC, would you be interested in the possibility of moving future capital to add Shemar Stewart to the current Chicago Bears team, essentially adding a second first-round pick to your team if this continues to get ugly?
I'm good. In a nutshell, I would say, but just to kind of explain myself a little bit more. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. We talked about Shemar Stewart during the draft, man, and it was just like one of those things. Like, yeah, the production doesn't wow me. I mean, you look at him and he's almost breaking the workout bike and for 5 seconds, and doing all these amazing things and feats of strength, and he looks like a god sculpted by Zeus. That's awesome, but you know what? I'd rather keep my picks for the future and probably look to try and actually draft an edge rusher at that time. I'm okay on the Shemar Stewart. Now, of course, the one position that I think that we still need to address is the edge rusher position opposite Montez Sweat. That's where I think the allure is here, because Mitch Milani mentions that perhaps the Bengals could part with, what is it, the 2026 second and third round pick. So
yeah, that's cap. Yeah, there's no way.
Way that's come on. Like they're going to be requesting way more than that, and they're going to kind of dig down on this, just like Shemar has. I again, I don't see a path where this is even realistic, but I mean, just for kicks and giggles, sure, the Bears could be in the running for it, because again, like I said, that's a position of need. Me personally, no, I wouldn't touch him with what's the old saying, with the hot comb or whatever. Yeah.
With a hot comb.
I don't know what the
what?
I don't know why hot comb came to mind.
I wouldn't touch that with a hot comb. What does a hot comb have to do with?
I don't know. I'm from the South Side. I don't know. Maybe that's what I thought of. I can't get away with that.
I've been on the South Side a lot in my life. A good chunk of my life spent on the South Side. Never in my days have I heard I wouldn't touch that with a hot comb. What?
Hey, man, I'm sorry. That's the first thing that came to mind. I don't know. I'm sorry, King Book World. Just go ahead and say it. Dang it. I'm sorry.
What just happened there? I wouldn't touch that with a hot comb.
I lost the
hot comb.
I'm sorry. Hey, daytime podcast.
JC, daytime podcasting, nighttime hairdresser. A lot of good money in hairdressing, man.
Hey, you ain't lying. But my thing is, it's a waste of time in my opinion. I feel like
you deserve that, King Booker World. I do.
I know what's coming. I'm sorry, KBW, man. I'm sorry. But honestly, if we're talking about an edge rusher from Cincinnati, the only person that we need to be talking about is Trey Hendrickson. Out of the two people that are doing holdouts, that's the guy I want. I want the guy with the major production. I want the guy that's been here and done that. I don't want a guy that hasn't even touched the field yet, that has only had 11 sacks in his college career. We talked about the flashiness of what he potentially can do, but I'm good. I'm not giving up next year's capital that could potentially address the issue to get a guy that's a question mark now. No, it's not happening.
And here's the only reason that it is even a conversation worth having for me. Now, number one, let me put this out there. I don't think it's happening. I don't think that the Bengals are moving on from Shemar Stewart.
Yeah.
I don't think that the Bengals aren't going to get this young man signed. I think they're going to go to the very last of the last of the last of the last seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And a deal will end up getting done because they're going to have to cave to him, because if you don't, you're not going to have a first-round pick for this year.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if you're happy with that, fine, but like that would just continue to show the idiocy of your organization. So I don't believe that this is something that is going to happen. It was interesting to me. I tell you, like when I wake up and I'm looking up stories, or if I'm looking up stories the night before, I'm usually like, okay, let me see if there's something worth talking about here. The only reason this is at all worth talking about is because Shemar Stewart does fit exactly what Dennis Allen wants from his edge rushers. 6'6", 290 pounds, quick first step. There's a lot there that Dennis Allen would love to have from his edge rush position on that opposite edge. Very similar build to Dio Odangbo. What you would have to do in this situation to get that done, is it worth it to bring that in to appease, or does Dennis Allen even want it in the first place? But like, is it worth it to bring that in to give Dennis Allen the ideal pass rusher that he wants coming off of the edge in a young player who, listen, the underperformance in college is 100% true, but I think we could say that about a couple of players that have been brought up in this draft, where we go, I think we got something better here. Like I'll say our Shemar Turner. I think Shemar Turner, when you look at his college, he was banged up his second year. His first year, he didn't look like he was fully comfortable coming in the middle there, because it was a two-gap system. When he had the opportunity to play a penetrating style, he looked like one of the best interior pass rushers in college football. He now has an opportunity to play a penetrating style, so we feel like the situation will be different for him on the Chicago Bears, and he will be somebody who's able to play a better brand of football than maybe what we saw in college. With this situation with Shemar Stewart, I think there's a conversation for that as well. Now, his time in Texas A&M, a little bit different. 19 and a half tackles for loss, 11 sacks, and this is over 3 seasons, I believe. Excuse me. And 3 forced fumbles across 36 games. But there is that conversation of, but what could he do in a Dennis Allen system that would work for him? If Dennis Allen were to sign off on it and be like, listen, if there's any chance to get him, we're getting a young asset in here who's got first-round contract control, so you get the extra 5th year, I'd be interested in seeing if this is something that could get done. But I do think it tells us exactly where we're at in the offseason when we're getting stories like this popping up.
Yeah, this is one of those far-fetched kind of stretch it out till the season starts type of articles. But here's my thing: if you really want to go after a guy, if you really want to talk about a guy that the Bears could potentially really fit in at that other edge rusher spot, I got some stats for you. This guy, last 2 seasons in college, 56 total tackles, 8 sacks, 21 tackles for loss. That guy is Austin Booker. He's already on your team.
Yeah.
I say that to say, develop the people you got there. He has, in my opinion, just as much potential with the measurables that he has. He has just as much potential as the Shemar Stewart. I mean, in my opinion, we were high on him when we drafted him. I believe in I know that's your guy, and I believe in the development and the coaching. And so that's why I say, you know what, I wouldn't waste time with even considering Shemar Stewart, because you got guys in the building already that are here and that are able to play at that level potentially. You've seen the potential of Austin Booker when he comes in on plays. Like, he high motor, long, has really good pass rush moves, just kind of has to work on his timing. It's got speed off the edge. Like, those are things that you can continue to build on. So when you pair him with Dennis Allen, I'm not thinking about bringing somebody else in the building. Work on the people that you have here already.
Yeah, listen, I love him. I think that he's a phenomenal player. I think that there's more to him than what meets the eye. And the problem is he good enough to overcome the scheme fit? You have to be good enough to overcome the scheme fit, no matter what.
Yeah.
You have to be good enough to prove to Dennis Allen that this is the position that I should be in. And I'll be honest with you, the conversation that was had around him early on, Dennis Allen said, I don't like my bookends, no, for lack of a better term. I don't like my bookends 240.
Mm-hmm.
Tell you what, saw him up close. He's very much 240.
Mm-hmm.
He is incredibly still 240. And I think the one thing for me is also that Dominique Robinson, who is a little bit more of a physical specimen out there, also was showing out a little bit early on here. He might have made a bit more of an impression, and you saw that Ben Johnson gave him the praise when he was talking about players who have stood out.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah. OTAs. That's going to make it tough for Austin Booker to make a name for himself on this team. I would love to see Booker do that. I think that he is a better player than what we've seen. I think there's a system that works for him, but he is a speed rusher. He is a guy who's going to be, I mean, he's not going to be a power rusher. And I think that's what Dennis Allen is looking for in his defense.
No, absolutely. I mean, there's a certain look, there's a certain mold that he wants, and it's been successful with him, as a defensive coordinator. So I obviously you trust in what Dennis Allen is building here. But my thing is, hey, just focus on what's in the building. If Don Rob can kind of revive his career and get back to, maybe what we saw maybe in the first couple of years when we were a little excited at some of his production when he came on the scene.
It was just that first game, really.
It was actually. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, Dominique. Yeah, exactly. That's what gave us a lot. Like, whoa, where did this guy come from?
He's picking up on tendencies. Look at this guy. He ain't picked up on a single tendency since.
Hey, so my again, that just goes back to my point that I wouldn't definitely not waste any draft, and of course. It's not going to be second and third. You would have to give up a first for somebody like a Shemar Stewart. I'm not giving up any first, anything for something that can be addressed right now within the building.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. Let me know how you guys feel. Listen, Shemar Stewart, interesting link. Be interesting to see if it would happen. It's very difficult for this to happen because at the end of the day, he still would have to sign his contract.
Mm-hmm.
So he would have to agree to terms on a deal and then request the trade. And then you would have to rework said deal to get him to the point where, and there's no guarantee in that situation. You know what I mean? Like he would have to basically sign the deal. Now he's subject to the fines. Now he's subject to everything. And going out there, then you have to trust that Cincinnati is going to be willing to trade you if you sign a deal.
Mm-hmm.
There's too much to me stacked against it. I guess we've seen weirder things happen, but I don't see this one playing out here as Bleacher Report has reported, especially not for when he was like, I think you could get away with giving up a future second and third. I was like, I mean, I
get
guess
away with that.
Maybe like they do seem dumb. They do.
Some organizations you can get over.
Hey, you know what I mean? Like they do seem a little dumb.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, maybe Cincinnati would give up a second and third. Like, yeah, get this
Cincinnati
guy
be like, we don't want to work out contracts with defensive players. Send us a receiver.
Give us everything. Yeah, right, exactly. Another receiver.
We got. How would you like Olamide Zaccheaus for Shemar Stewart? Straight up.
If you said Devin Duvernay, you got yourself a deal.
How would you like Devin Duvernay? Might I interest you in Thomas Brown?
No. You're never giving him up. I don't care if he isn't here. You got a statue for that guy. The guy's a legend.
Oh, man. What's I call it, buddy? And Brown
Johnson? Brown Johnson, Meaty Brown. You had like a couple names for him.
Hey, bro, he was all over the place. They had Thomas Brown looking bad in that thing, bro. Thomas Brown was looking bad, bro.
Hey, he's 1-0 in our simulated season.
He is 1-0, but that is Ben Brown. That's Ben Brown.
Ben Brown.
Hey, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. As always, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. I'm going to take Jordan JC off of the screen here real quick, and I'm going to remove these comments real quick because we got to do a quick ad read. You stay back there. Okay. Do a quick ad read, man. We got to tell you guys all about Factor. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as you do. Summer is here. More sun, more light, more time to do the things you want to do this summer. So why do you want to spend time inside cooking? Hours prepping, getting everything together when Factor has you covered with chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals ready in just 2 minutes, taking the hassle out of eating well. Y'all know I've been talking about Factor for a little while on this show, and I mean, honestly, it's one of the best things, especially with having the kids, especially with trying to get out and do more this summer. You got to have something quick and available to you, and Factor does that. They have 45 weekly meal options you can pick from, gourmet meals that fit your summer gains or goals. Choose from options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and more. They give you smoothies as well on top of that to allow you to start the morning right. I've been starting my morning with those Factor smoothies. And let me tell you, the gut going the right direction, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy more this summer. Get Factor if you want all the flavor and none of the fuss. All you got to do to get started is go to factormeals.com/breeze50 off and use the code breeze50 off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code breeze50 off at factormeals.com/breeze50 off for 50% off plus free shipping. Factormeals.com/breeze50 off. Make sure that you guys tap in and rock with us, man. Appreciate y'all for showing love, and make sure y'all cop some of this merch. Breeze Nation, what is good? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Ladies and gentlemen, we got merch. That's right. New website, new merch, all out. We've been telling you guys to pull up on us. Now you can at twcbreeze.com, where you can find out all of the latest stuff going on. What all can they find there, Super Producer?
Listen, you can join the nation, sign up to our mailing list, and be up to date for events and news. You can also visit the shop page and order merch, because we have t-shirts, we got hoodies, we got mugs, we got hats, we got all kind of stuff. So, hey, we appreciate you being tuned in with us. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube page and follow us on all our socials. Check us out at twcbreeze.com.
He's way too excited.
I am.
I love it. It's me every time.
My favorite thing about the commercial is Joel listing everything that we have and then going, we got a bunch of stuff. We listed everything. We have t-shirts, we got hoodies, we got mugs, we got hats. That's it. That's all we got.
That's all we got. And much, much more.
And more. Corey Swope, is this a Sonic beat? Hey, listen, it's not what a Joel's best. I'm not gonna lie.
Pennsylvania, man. It's
not one of Joel's best. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Channel 11.
Hey, that one definitely felt like a boss fight on a Sega game back in the day. You know what I mean? I'm getting some serious Castlevania theme vibes. I can see that. Okay, I can see that. Relax there. Oh, dog. That's hilarious. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do.
That's funny.
Shout out to the super producer Joel Hope, man. Always doing his thing. Man. He's a great guy. We love him around here. We'll keep him around.
Great guy.
Let's keep this show moving along here, Jordan JC, because
oh boy,
apparently this was a story.
Yeah,
I don't really care about it because he is not a coach here anymore, and I don't think that how he addressed this really changed what Caleb said about it. But apparently, Matt Eberflus came out and was like, "Oh, Caleb, you a liar. You lying, Caleb Williams. Let me tell you about Caleb. Caleb, a great guy, but a terrible guy. Horrible guy. This guy lies all the time. Absolutely a liar. I call him liar, liar, Caleb Fire."
Oh,
it's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm getting better at the Trump.
Yeah, you are. You are. Yeah.
I'm working on it. But no, dog, like the Caleb Williams situation is has been an interesting journey since I guess the book was released, and we had heard some of these reports from reporters like Taylor Dahl before who had dropped this, but that the film watching was an issue for Caleb Williams, and that Matt Eberflus basically allowed this to go on. Matt Eberflus clapped back, I guess, if you will, at Caleb Williams. And it's a very Matt Eberflus answer. He says, but back to your other question about watching film and all that, I would say this, that in the development of the quarterback position, hold on, let me read this like Flus.
Yes, please do. Please.
All right, now, Crusher. Yeah, I mean, first off, back to your question about the film watching and all that, I'd say this, in the development of the quarterback position and really all positions, at my time with the Bears, we've always had daily coached film sessions. That was out there the entire time, in the entire year. So that's what I observed there, and that's what it was.
Typical.
I'm gonna be real with you, dog. One, not what Caleb said.
Nope.
Literally, Caleb said, we watch film as a team. Not what Caleb said. The problem was he didn't know what he was watching when he was by himself. Or I shouldn't say he didn't know what he was watching. What he said was he didn't know how to watch film efficiently. He didn't know how to watch film to improve his game. He didn't know how to watch film to where he could take advantage of the mistakes that defenses were making the next time he saw them. And I don't even think this is a surprise when you heard, I take people back to when Thomas Brown did take over, when Brown Johnson did come into the building, right? Big shout out Thomas Brown.
Yeah, that's right. Legend.
Keenan Allen went on David Kaplan's podcast and basically said the biggest difference is he told Caleb where his eyes should go. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where your eyes need to go. That's the biggest difference, because in 1 week of change, really in 2 weeks of change, we saw Caleb Williams go from a quarterback who looked like he was looking all over the world trying to find the right spot to, all right, at least I can move this football downfield efficiently. So for me, like, I don't think that what the heck was that?
See, you told me to leave it open. Now you're going to get all type of noise.
What kind of bird was that? Don't go outside, JC.
You know what?
Don't go outside, JC.
Ravenous beast coming to my window now.
Bro, what was that?
That was actually the garbage truck. It just had, the screeching halt. The screeching halt of the garbage truck sounded like a bird.
I was like, JC, that's not a bird. That will murder you. That was a demon.
Came back with a vengeance. We're back. Oh God.
But no, man. I just think that in all of this, it doesn't matter, because Matt Eberflus was wrong. He is not here, and he wasn't a good head coach. So why do we care?
You think?
Your thoughts.
My thoughts after listening to Birdzilla outside of my window. Well, here's the thing, because I got PTSD, and the way you said it, we got new birds outside. I flew shit. That's hilarious. Oh my God, whatever.
Eberflus have vengeance.
You got the too much. We will have. Oh God, no! That damn reckoning is here. Eberflus is so Eberflusy. That's how I'm a dub it. It's so flusy for him to sit there and say that was throughout the entire year that we did have film, we watched film. That's where it was. It just reminds me of the locker room after halftime when he got interviewed. He said, "Hey, so what'd you tell your team?" And told him, hey, that's the score. This is where we're at. We just gotta come together as a team. We've got each other, right? We've got each other. That's where it was.
Score.
What it is.
Told him you got each other, and get out there.
Yeah, just Go back to Dallas, guy.
Bro, you know what Flus is on
what you
par
gotta
with?
do.
You know what he's on par with? Have you
What?
ever seen the mic'd up Darvin Ham coaching highlights?
No, but I know you told me about one of them where you said
Bro,
salute.
that man said, bro, call the timeout, bro. Call the timeout, said, hey, keep going hard on them boys. Salute.
What are you trying to do?
That was it.
Trying to get in with the young crowd or something? Is that what you're doing? Like, that's what you do as a coach. Here's my thing. Like Matt Eberflus can sit there and talk and defend, him and his staff, because that's essentially what he's doing, right?
Yeah.
But to be fair, again, like you said, that's not what Caleb said. He said that he feels like he needed to react more. He felt like he wasn't reacting, and said it's more of a reaction game at that point in muscle memory, instead of just sitting there thinking so much about the rules and the different things like that. And it's the same thing with the last regime. If you remember, Justin Fields, under Matt Eberflus's reign, said, hey, I feel like I'm thinking too much on the field. They're cramming my brain with too much stuff. Like, I just want to play and react and feel free. So, of course, when you implement a legendary coach like Thomas Brown, who comes in and just said, oh, that's right, legendary. He comes in and he says, hey, I got the answer to you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. Unlocked. The potential has now been unlocked for Caleb Williams, thanks to Mike Brown, Meaty Brown, Ben Brown, whatever you want to call him. And now he's on to greater things, because this is this story doesn't mean anything to me. Matt Eberflus can be quiet. I don't care about what he has to say. Caleb Williams didn't really go hard on what he could have said, because we all know Shane Waldron probably still didn't go over plays the way that he was drumming up some of this offense and his schemes. It was all horrible. So that's just my thing, is let's move forward. I'm not worried about Matt Eberflus.
Man, listen, what I will say is this, though, and I do think that this story takes away your leeway, in my mind. The he didn't watch film with me, and that's what was holding me back. That's fine. All right, I'll ride with you on that. Let's go. He didn't watch film with you. I'll take your word for it. It looked like you didn't watch film. It looked like when you started watching film, you got better. So okay, let's follow that path. You watching film this year? I know you are. You got an insane maniac over there. You're not dealing with this.
Oh, you got it. You
What a
got
play
it.
draw up. What a play call right here. You're not dealing with it. You're not dealing with that.
I don't know what I'm doing.
You're not dealing. That's a real picture. This one, the first one, is a real picture.
Oh yeah. I can see that.
What he did. Hey, bro, draw a play. No, you're dealing with this maniac.
That's right.
You gotta have fun.
Here's Benny.
So that's fine. If that's the story you want to go with, it better look like you watching film. It better look like you know what you're doing. It better look like you know what defenses are doing, because you start the season off versus two defenses.
Yes.
That you should be able to recognize. You start the season off going up against the Minnesota Vikings, who you played twice. The second time it was not pretty. There was some other reasons on that, but the second time it was horrible. The first time you looked okay versus them and probably should have won. And then you're going up against Matt Eberflus, the dude that schemed defenses up against you every week in practice all last year.
Mm-hmm.
You better know what it looks like. You better look like you're watching film, because all them excuses go out the door real quick in a moment. Because the first thing that's going to come up is, did you not know that he was going to be doing the zero blitz? Did you not know that he was going to be attacking in this manner? You've played him twice now. This is your third time playing him. That, to me, is where this is accelerating. I don't think it just stops with Caleb Williams. I'll be honest with you, JC, and hit that like button if you have not done so. Subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do, man. Where the head coaching situation is at right now, with everything that you brought in, with bringing in the number one guy, I feel like if Ben Johnson is the answer, you're going to know right away. So my question to you, my question to the chat, how many games are you giving Ben Johnson? where you go, yeah, this should look either good or we got to give him more time or whatever it is? How many games are you giving Ben Johnson to where you kind of going to go, this might be the guy or this might not be the guy? Are you giving him the full season?
Man, that is a really, really good question. I'll do it like this. I'll break it into quarters. I would say I would give him the first 2 quarters of the season. So that's half the season. I would give him half the season to really, really look right. I was almost tempted to say the first quarter because we're starting out in the division with 2 games, one against Minnesota and one against the team that he came from. And so when it comes to tendencies and things that you're used to seeing, Ben Johnson has seen throughout the entire division what it looks like, the defenses that have gone up against Detroit, and how he's dialed up the offense to dominate against those defenses. He's seen the Bears defense. He's seen the Vikings defense. He's seen the Green Bay Packers defense. He's also seen their offenses. And so as a head coach, I wouldn't give him a pass when it comes to that. Now, outside of the division, that's where I think he needs a little bit more, time to gel and see what happens. But because you're starting off the season with 2 games right here in your comfort zone, I feel like that should kind of get you going, in a sense, going upward, trending upward, I should say. But because it's all new, because he's trying to implement a new, foundation for this team, all new players, everybody's trying to, come together. It's all kumbaya right now. I'll give him to the half point of the season. So around the 8 or 9 game mark, that's when I think we should really see whether or not Ben Johnson has gotten his stuff together. If all of these hard hours and this maniac, moniker that the label that we've given him, and everybody's working hard, he's holding everybody accountable. We'll see if that actually, is up to task by that time.
Here's what I'll say. Where are the Bears at in this process? Are we in a rebuild? Or is the rebuild over?
Nah, we ain't rebuilding. We better not be rebuilding.
Is the rebuild over? Is this the year where we're saying the rebuild is over?
See, I'm not thinking it's a rebuild because yes, there's just a few holes on the team, but every team has a few holes left. I feel like like we're completed.
I'm not saying it got to be perfect. Yeah, if the rebuild is over, he should be good.
Okay.
He should be good very fast. Case in point. Sean McVay came in. Season before, Rams were 4-12. They were horrible. They had I think Jeff Fisher was still the head coach. He was fired halfway through the season, a little bit past halfway.
Okay.
John Fassel finished out the season as the interim head coach. They did not have the team where they needed it, but the pieces were there.
Mm-hmm.
It just didn't feel like you had the head coach. You got the number 1 pick. You went out and you got Jared Goff, and all of a sudden the rebuild was over because you had your quarterback. But you got to give your quarterback time. Not in Sean McVay's world. Sean McVay hit the ground running. In his first 7 weeks of the season, he was 5-2 with a rookie quarterback. In that time, he played Andrew Luck. He played RG3. He played RG3 might not have been on the team at that point. There's Washington.
Washington,
actually. Which Washington? Oh, that might be RG3. Jay Gruden.
Was that Kirk Cousins though?
That might be Kirk. 2017 might be Kirk at that point. But you played San Fran. You played Seattle, the Legion of Boom. Played Jacksonville. You played Arizona. But immediately we went, oh, this dude knows what he's doing. Oh, snap, This dude can coach. Oh, he might be a problem. Kyle Shanahan. I have it on good authority on Kyle Shanahan. You know I do. This guy punches people.
He does. Should have brought him here.
Kyle Shanahan came in, had a couple of years of rebuild that he had to go through. Once the rebuild was done, that next season, the San Francisco 49ers are 13-3. They go to the NFC title game, and they get to the Super Bowl. immediately you went, Kyle Shanahan can coach. This guy knows it.
Mm-hmm.
This guy gets the offense. It doesn't take long for this to hit. And I know people are going to bring up the Dan Campbell situation. The Dan Campbell situation is the anomaly. It's why the Dan Campbell situation is interesting. It's not normal for you to suck for 3 years or 2 years, 2.5. And then all of a sudden, boom, we flip the switch and we're on the
out of nowhere. Yeah.
That's not the norm. And so to me, I think usually when you see guys be good, when you saw Matt LaFleur, when you saw name Kevin O'Connell, pretty quickly you were like, oh, dang it, that guy's a nice young coach. I like that.
Mike McDonald. Yeah.
So to me, there should be that. Let's hit the ground running. Let's get it done very quickly. Early on, we should know whether Ben Johnson is the right guy or not. And I'm not saying it can't turn around if he's not the right guy. I'm not saying I'm going to sit here and be like, this is the worst hire we've ever made if he's not the right guy. But you should know this is the guy that is going to lead us for the next few years at least into a better direction.
Yeah, and we've seen that throughout the years with a lot of teams going, whether it be from worst to first or just improving from one season to the next, whether it be the strength of schedule or the weakness of the schedule. Of course, that's not in our case. We know last year we actually had a very, very soft schedule to start, and then it kind of went into a stronger on the back end. This year, there's no excuses, which is why I kind of give it a little bit of a little leeway, even though I probably shouldn't. With Ben Johnson being the first-year coach and kind of getting his feet wet with that, is because the challenge is going to be the teams that you're facing that have already been kind of together for such a long time. You're facing some really, really good teams this year, and there's not that much of a drop-off from week to week. We talked about a few of the teams that you might take advantage of where we know okay, that might be a walkover. Maybe it might be the New York Giants. Maybe it might be the Las Vegas Raiders. Those type of teams. Yes, okay, you can feast on them, hopefully. Still NFL team at the end of the day. But my thing is, because of your experience and your knowledge of your division and the teams that you've been facing for the last 3 years, twice, or rather, I should say 6 times every season, that's where I have the confidence that Ben Johnson can get this on the up and running very, very quickly. Yeah. Along with the fact that the roster's turned over really well. I mean, of course, we talked about it, exhaustingly. We have a better offensive line. We have better players on the defensive line. The trenches have gotten so much more improved that's where the confidence comes from the interior on both sides. We've improved vastly. And so that's where you gain a lot of trust that this thing can kind of get going very quickly. Of course, we have talent in droves at the wide receiver position. We know Caleb is a year stronger and a year hopefully more mature and understands, like we just talked about, what he's seeing on the field. All of these things factor in. And so I think that's what's going to contribute to Ben Johnson possibly getting this thing up and running quickly.
And I'll be honest with you, if we're looking at some of these previous situations, Jay-Z, Ben Johnson is in a better spot, right? I look at McVay because I really do think Ben Johnson is one of the smartest people in the NFL. I think he's one of the offensive geniuses that we talk about in the NFL. Look at the McVay situation. Year before McVay shows up, you've got Case Keenum on the team, but just about everybody else is there. Todd Gurley's there. Tavon Austin's still on the team. Tyler Higbee's still on the team. I thought Tavon Austin was going to be that dude. You got Aaron Donald on that team. Yeah, I mean, there's all of these pieces that are already on the team. You swapped out one name. You go out and you draft Jared Goff, his rookie season. Jared Goff on the team there. He goes for 3,800 yards, 28 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Everybody else the same. Todd Gurley's still there. You did add Sammy Watkins, but Todd Gurley's still there. Tyler Higbee's still there.
Mm-hmm.
You made subtle changes to the team, but you swapped out the head coach and you swapped in a guy who knew what he was doing. Not to say Jeff Fisher is an unintelligent coach. I think the game just kind of passed Jeff Fisher by. But to me,
he had his moments. Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff Fisher was a great coach in his heyday, but the game kind of changed for him, and he didn't. Yeah, I mean he didn't adjust with it well, I should say. But you add two pieces, one being a rookie quarterback, and very quickly things changed for you. You don't have a rookie quarterback. You've got a quarterback that has the advantage of having seen everybody in this division. You've got a quarterback who has the advantage of playing a full season in the NFL, taking 68 sacks. He should know every direction the hits are coming from.
Up, down, left, right.
Like, bro, you know what I mean? Like, he should know every single direction that a defensive lineman is going to attack from. I'm in my room.
Oh my God! Watch out, Caleb.
Look at Caleb. Look at oh no.
He don't even have the ball. He looks frightened. He's like,
no.
Oh, I didn't even notice that in this picture until now.
I just never paid attention to Caleb.
Oh my God.
Like that to me is just like, you know what I mean? Like there is a semblance. I shouldn't even say a semblance. There's a good team that has been built here that was incompetently used. And dare I say, I just realized Case Keenum was on that team. Case Keenum's on our team now.
Yeah.
Case Keenum was 28 then. My God. In case you're getting
traveling, world traveler, man.
But it's just I think situations like that, dare I say, a situation where Case Keenum can help you after going through that situation as well. Like there's so many things that are in favor for Ben Johnson that I do expect him to be good early on. It doesn't mean that he has to be 4-0 by the bye week. Your bye week's week 5.
Would be nice.
But it does mean we should be sitting here, you know, looking at if you are 2-2 going, you were in every one of those games, and you had an opportunity to win them because you were able to score right with them. Some other thing was the reason you lost this game, but it shouldn't be Ben Johnson. Like that's how I feel about him coming into this first season, because we kept waiting for that with Flus. We kept waiting for that. I guess Nagy kind of hit the ground running and fell off. But like we keep waiting for that with these head coaches going, well, maybe this is the year he turns it around. And it never is. It never is. Like Dan Campbell's the anomaly.
Yeah. You made a very good point that I didn't even think about when you talk about the competence. I understand that obviously we want to win. You're saying, you know, when we get to the bye week, you know, possibly being, you know, 500, hopefully 3-1. Hey, maybe 4-0. That would be really, really nice. Then we would be like, oh yeah, this guy is, you know, he's off and running. My thing is, what does the losses look like? What are the games that are obviously going to be a challenge in the season? Which is why I said at the half point, I'm trying to remember when we play Baltimore and when we play Philly. But those two games are the ones that stick out in my head. Specifically is Philadelphia and Baltimore, obviously being the challenges. One obviously being the Super Bowl winner. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I know. I'm being meaty with that take. But if we're being realistic, 28th,
we play the Eagles and Thanksgiving.
Okay.
On Thanksgiving? No, it can't be. We won't play on Thanksgiving this year, right?
No.
Day before Thanksgiving, maybe? Oh, that's that Saturday, I think, right? And then we play Baltimore October 26th.
Okay. So Baltimore first then.
Baltimore first.
Okay, yeah. My thing is those two again stick out of my head. I think that how do those matchups look? Now, if you win, that'll go a long way in my confidence. Obviously, if Ben Johnson gets it, Ben Johnson has he clearly is up there in the tier of top coaches already because he's found a way to beat a team that is ready to win it all. And one team that has won it all is your Super Bowl champ. So if you find a way to stay in a game with the likes of an Eagles, with the likes of a Ravens, that's what would impress me the most. So that's what my question is. What do the losses look like?
Yeah. No, and that's the thing, right? Like Flus was losing in unimaginable ways. And like I keep saying this. Like when you talk about generational loser, baby.
Yep.
I mean, dominant. I've never seen somebody lose like Matt Eberflus. Legendary losses, bro. Matt Eberflus's losses will be talked about for a millennia. Like his losses are crazy. But to your point, right? That Ravens game, You will have 6 games under your belt. You will have the bye week in there. And I believe that comes in week 8, right? So we play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4 bye week, 5 or 6, 7, 8. So that is week 8. So that's kind of at the end. That's your 7th game. It's kind of at the end of that 7-game trial run that I talked about, where you're like, all right, let's see. You should know by now. You should know if he's getting out coached. You should know if he's getting if the team is getting outplayed by then.
Right.
Like, I get it. You may be playing a better football team, but are you better coached? I've seen a lot of better coached teams beat better football teams. And I'm not even saying you got to go out there and destroy the Ravens. Like, the Ravens are the freaking Ravens. Who's going to catch Lamar Jackson? Nobody on this team is catching Lamar Jackson. There's not a single player on this defense that's catching Lamar Jackson.
Maybe Ruben Hippolyte with his 4-3.
You know what?
You know what? If he gets the right angle on him.
You know what? Maybe Ruben Hippolyte can keep up with Lamar Jackson. That's about it.
I'll be impressed. If he tackles Lamar on a run, I'll be like, all right, that's our guy.
Hey, you know what? Well done. Well done. I'll give you that one.
Yeah, you got to get the right angle on him because he's still faster than him.
Yeah, that boy different, bro. That boy different. Lamar just, what's hilarious about Lamar is knowing where he started is like, I'm just a runner. I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to make it work. Yeah. So now, like, he flicks his wrist, a football flies 60 yards directly into the hand of the receiver. It is kind of insane watching this game. Like, bro, he's one of the craziest quarterbacks I've ever seen in my life.
No, that I only saw that with Mike Vick, where I felt like he could just and then to go 100 yards. Like for me, that was
another quarterback. Aaron Rodgers could do that. You know what I mean? I've seen that with other quarterbacks.
Yeah, but the effort, it was like effortless. Like Aaron feels like he puts his whole body into the throw. Lamar and Mike Vick, they just use like a flick of the wrist and it goes like 200,000 miles. Like it just looks different. It looks different. It's special. Oh, shout out to Auntie Dish.
Shout out to Auntie Dish. Right? Little sis in the building, man. It's getting sticky is a wild statement to drop after that. It's what the heck is going on? Is that a new music thing? I don't know what that means.
Sticky.
Is that a song that I'm unaware of?
Yeah. That's okay. Well, it's been out for a second now, actually.
Okay, who sings that? I don't know that.
I forgot,
I don't like
actually.
where this is going. You know who it is. You know who it is. You just don't want to say.
I'm not saying nothing. Hey, Auntie Dish, salute.
Oh, I actually do know this song. Oh, you could have said this is Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler and Cook.
Yeah, that's wild. That's still wild. Hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in to show a lot. That's how we're going to end this show. Shout out Relentless Mikey. Oh, my. Someone said, Dave, Pat, how old are you? You don't know that song. You know what? It's honestly,
I forgot it for a second, too.
Out of context. Just seeing that written, it was just like, what the heck is going on? But I get it. I get it. Hey, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in to show love as always. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Let us know how you guys feel in the comments below. When do you think Ben Johnson needs to be hitting the ground running? When should we see Ben Johnson looking like that guy? We'll keep you guys posted in the comments as well. I appreciate y'all for rocking with us. As always, for Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, it's your boy Pat the Designer, back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there in Chicago. Bear down. Well, peace.
So I'm in my group chat, man. They posted this picture of Tyrese Halliburton looking like Will Chamberlain, but he's got a 0 on the paper instead of 100. I was like, man, that's messed up, man. He's gonna be a joke for a second now on Twitter.
Oh,
he better come out and play good. Game 6, he better get it right.
That boy looked horrible. I told y'all though, put that boy in the torture chamber.
What?
Mike Dadno finally figured it out. Put him in the torture chamber. That boy was going from Lou Dort to Alex Caruso.
Yeah, that's deadly. That is deadly.